So here on my pattern paper, I have the space for the front and also the space for the back. And we'll be starting with the front pattern. So the starting point line you see will serve as the shoulder line. From that line, I'll go down to the bust point line, to the under bust, and then down to the waistline, which is the line I already have on the paper. Now I'm going to mark the same thing on this other side, from shoulder to the bust point, to the under bust, and then to the waistline. Then I'm going to rule them out this way and then label shoulder line, bust point line, under bust line, and the waistline. Now on the shoulder line, I'm going to mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2. And then once I have that, I'm going to divide the bust circumference by 6 plus extra 2.5 and use that as the chest line. On that point, I'm going to mark the bust measurement divided by 2 again, and also the chest line here, just so I have a straight line. And of course, I'll just go ahead and mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2 on the shoulder line for the back pattern, go down to the chest line, which is the same with what I have on the front pattern, and then I'm just going to make sure I have a straight line. And once I have all of those, I'm going to use my ruler to mark them out just the same way you can see me do it here. Now we have it ready for both front and back. I'm going to mark 3 inches here as the neck width yet, then come down here to 1.5 for the shoulder slope and connect to the 3 inches I have as the neck width. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to get the midpoint of this line, then go in there to 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to come to the bust point, to the chest line, and take the bust measurement divided by 4 and use all of this as a guide to get the perfect armhole curve, placing my curve this exact way you see me do it. Next, I'm going to mark the bust span on the bust point line. That's the nipple to nipple divided by 2. I'll mark that 2 on the waistline and then connect it like this. The next thing I'm going to do is to take the waist dart, and I'm using 0.75 on both sides of this line. And coming here, I'm going to mark 0.75 here and then 1 inch on this other side. Then I'm going to use my curve to first curve from the under bust tightening to the bust point on both sides like this. Then use the straight part of the curve to connect like this, just placing my curve this exact way you see me do it. Now that that is out of the way, I'm going to get the midpoint of this shoulder line. I'll mark it and then connect from that point to the bust span just like this. Then I'm going to be going out here to 0.75. I will show you how that came about later in this video, and connect from that 0.75 to the bust span this way. Now on that same 0.75, I'm going to come out here from this shoulder tip and then come down to the 1.5 I used to slope the shoulder earlier. Then we just leave it there because we'll come back to that. I already have the bust measurements. I'll come to the waistline and take the waist measurement divided by 4 plus the 1.5 that intake. I'll replace it and connect it to the bust measurement like this. Then I'll be coming down here to 1.5, which is the bust that value for this pattern. Then slant it to the bust span this way. Now we are going to come over to the back pattern, and here will be the center back, and here the shoulder line, and then I'll be going down to the waistline before I label that as the waistline. So the bust that value is 1.5 here. I'm going to minus 1.5 from the waist, shoulder to waist that I used on the front here, and doing that I have about 15.5. So marking 15.5, that will be the length for the back. Then I'm going to mark it out like this and label that as the WL, which is the waistline. You see that it's just the exact 1.5 I used as the bust dart. I'm going to mark 3 inches here on the center back. Then I'm going to go down to about 2.5 or 3 inches as the neck depth. Now I'm going to come down here to 1 inch and then connect it to the 3 inches I have on the shoulder line, just like this. And that's the shoulder slope for the back. Once I'm done with all of that, I'm going to contour the center back with about 0.625 and then connect it all the way to the shoulder line this way. Then start from this new line and take the bust measurement divided by 4 on the chest line. Then on the waistline, the waist measurement divided by 4. I'm not adding any dart to this back pattern. If you want to, go ahead and add your dart and also replace the dart intake. I'll connect the waist measurement and the bust measurement like this, then get the midpoint of this line you're seeing here. Once I have it, I'm going to use this curve to curve from that midpoint to the bust width, and that's the armhole curve for the back. Next, I'm going to be adding my zipper allowance on the center back. Following the center back contour line, I'll be adding 1 inch because that's what I'm comfortable working with. If you are comfortable working with 1.5 or even 0.75, go ahead and do it at this point. Then of course we are going to cut this out because you are pretty much done. I will be just be adding my allowance since I have enough paper here. I'll be adding my 1.5 allowance, side seam allowance. I'll add it on the bust point and also on the waistline. That's like the chest line and the waistline. Then I'm going to be cutting the back pattern first. Then I'll go ahead and show you how to go about the front pattern. Now I'm going to be opening up this waist dart all the way to the bust point, folding the bust dart just as you can see me do it and place it on the bust point line. Then I'm going to use my water glue to hold it down permanently. Then go ahead and blend in the side seam line from the bust measurement to the waist measurement like this. Then I'm going to slash this line, just the same line. Yeah, that's the midpoint of the shoulder. And you're going to make sure that the bust point line that they are aligning and also that this paper is closed just the same way it was before you slash. Then you're going to spread this other part, this shoulder part here, and measure what you have from this shoulder slope line to the other shoulder slope line. Divide that into 4 and then start from here and go out to the value. Mine was 3 inches. Dividing that into 4 gives me 0.75, and that's exactly the dart intake I have here. Now I'm going to be closing this dart with my water glue just like this. Just apply your water glue and place it on the other dart line, and then you're going to come out to that same 0.75 from the shoulder tip. Okay, the same 0.75 we closed, you're going to come out with that here, and then you're going to connect from that 0.75 all the way to the midpoint of the armhole curve, just as you can see me do it here, and then curve from that point to the bust width this way. The next thing I'm going to do is to blend in the shoulder slope. Using my marker, I'm going to just connect it to the 3 inches I have as a neck width for now. Then I'm going to come down to where I want my princess curve to be, or armhole princess dart to be. I'll mark it, then place my curve this exact way you see me place it. Curve from that point to the bust point, just trying to make sure that the curve I already have from the under bust coming to the bust point, that it meets this one that is coming from the armhole. Then for the neck width, I'll be using 3.5 by 4 inches for the front. Then I'm just going to make sure I have the 3.5 by 4 inches. I think I use 4 inches or 3.5. And then once I have a square like this, I'm going to just place my curve like this and curve it out. I just want to have a perfect neckline curve. And once I'm done with that, next I'm going to do is to determine how deep I want the keyhole to be, and I'm doing 7.5. So here it is, measuring from here to that point, it's about 3.5. Yeah, then I'm going to just follow this neckline curve and mark my 3.5 all the way around. Yeah, from the center front all the way to the shoulder line. First, I'll have to make this line more pronounced, clean the unnecessary parts, and then following this curve, I'll be marking my 3.5 intervals just like this until I get to the shoulder like this, following the neckline. Once I'm done, I'm going to use my curve to just connect this, and it's going to just look like, yeah, you extended it from the neckline, just this same way you can see me do it. Next, you're going to create the template for the keyhole, and instead of the teardrop, I'll be doing something like a diamond shape. So I'm going to first mark out my 3.5 keyhole length. Then I'm going to come up here to about 1.5. Yeah, then on that 1.5, I'm going to go into 0.75. You can also do 1 inch. And I'm going to connect from this top here to this 0.75 I have here, then from the 0.75 all the way here. You can decide to just get the midpoint of this 3.5. Yeah, then the wideness is totally optional. You can do 0.75 to 1 inch. That's what I can recommend. 1 inch when you open it up is going to be 2 inches. 0.75 when you open it up is going to be 1.5. Okay, then let me show you how to go about the teardrop in case you want that. Measure your keyhole length on a fresh paper, then you're going to go out here to about 0.75, which is 1.5 when you open it up. Then you're going to just curve from the top, yeah, all the way to the bottom, giving it an oval shape, not round. You see that it's like slanted to the top and then it got wider going to the top. or to the bottom. And this is what it's looking like afterwards. So you're going to use that in place of this one I'm using here if you're going for a teardrop. But since I'm going for this diamond shape, I'm going to fold the paper like I cut it out, because this is the center front and you'll be cutting that on fold. Yeah, place it like this and you see that the paper is matching up with the space I created for the keyhole. Do you understand? So I'm going to trace it out with my pencil this way, and once you're done, you're going to go out to about 1.25. You have to measure this to see how much intervals you should be giving. Do you understand? Then for this one, you're going to open the template, open it up this way, because the other part is the center front, which will be cutting on fold, and this part you're not cutting on fold. So it's going to be one on this side, one on the other side. Then once you're done tracing it out, you're going to use your ruler to highlight it, and then you give the same interval again. And then once you're done, you're going to have something like this. It's 3, yeah, but when you open it up, it's going to be 5 in total. Then the same way I added my allowance on the side seam for the back, I'm also going to do the same thing here and connect from the allowance I have on the bust to the one I have on the waist, and then blend in the armhole curve this way, and basically go ahead and cut this out. But first I'll have to blend in this part because it's quite pointy and it's not looking all cute. So after doing that, I'm going to be cutting it out and I'll be showing you how to cut this out. Okay, you know that the way your pattern appear is likely how your dress is going to come out, so be sure that you have your accurate pattern, even if it will take you time. Do you understand? Then I'm going to cut the rest of the pattern out, and right after cutting it out, like we always do on this channel, I'm going to match up the side seam of the front and the side seam of the back, and make sure that they are aligned, so that after transferring to the fabric I won't have excess where it's not necessary or shortage where it's not necessary. So I'll just blend it in this way and it's now aligning. Now I'm going to bring in a fresh paper, fold it just the same width with this center front pattern. Yeah, I'm going to make sure I have it like this, and then I'm going to first trace out this space I created for the keyhole. That's the 3.5 from the neck depth. Then after that, I'm going to trace out the keyhole, making sure that the paper, the folded part of the paper, is matching up with the center front. Do you understand? So that you don't end up adding to your keyhole and you end up with a messed up pattern. So yeah, after marking or tracing it out with my tracing wheel, I'm going to use my ruler and my pencil to highlight them like you see me doing here. And after that, you're going to simply cut it out. I can see the neckline here, even though you cannot see it, but so I'm going to just use my scissors to cut it out, and after that I'm also going to use my ruler and my pencil to highlight this other side of the keyhole, so that yeah, we have the same thing we have on this side on the other side too. Okay, once you're done, you're going to have something like this, and you can see how cute this is looking. Now we are going to be cutting, transferring all of this to the fabric. I'll be cutting the center front on fold, then the back pattern you're cutting 2 of that, the side front you're cutting 2 of that, and then for this keyhole template you're going to just keep it nicely, just keep it safe because you will need that later. Okay, now before transferring to the fabric, I'm going to be cutting out the skirt, because that's what you're supposed to do. If you're making a dress, you cut out your skirt first, because the top part you cut out with your pattern and it's in pieces. It will be easier for you to manage your fabric like that. So you're going to use your hip circumference divided by 4 plus at least 5 inches, okay, to fold out for your fabric. And you know this is Ankara, you see how I folded it because of the length of the person I'm working with. Now I'm going to place the whole length I'm working with here plus 1 inch allowance. Yeah, at least 1 inch allowance, or you do 2 inches allowance. Then I'm going to go up to the waistline and add 1 inch to that. Let's say her waistline is 17, I'll do 16 here. Then once I have it, I'm going to measure from that point to the end of the skirt, or the length of the skirt, and know that yeah, that is the length of the skirt. Now this is it here. Then I'm going to start from this line and go down to the hip line, go down to the knee line, and then I'm going to mark the same thing on the center front and use my ruler to connect them, just as you can see me do it here. Now I will be taking my measurements here. I'm trying to make sure that the lines are straight because I'm obsessed with straight lines. Then measuring from here down, what I have from knee down to the skirt length is quite modest. On the waistline, I'm going to mark the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1.5 allowance. On the hip line, the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1.5 allowance. Then I'm going to minus 5 inches from the hip circumference, divide that into 4 and mark it on the nail line and add my 1.5 allowance. Let's say the hip is 42 minus 5 inches, you have 37, yeah. Then you're going to divide 37 into 4, mark it, and then add your 1.5 allowance. Then coming down to, I'm going to connect this first, then I go down to the skirt length and mark the measurement I'm supposed to have there. I'll first mark the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 5 inches, and I'm using the whole of what I have here, which is about half inch added to the measurement I have. Here I'm trying to make sure that it's 5 inches minus from the hip circumference that I have on the knee, and it ended up not being that. So yeah, I'm trying to make sure it's 5 inches minus from the hip circumference. Then I'm going to connect from the knee measurement now all the way to the measurement I have on the skirt length. Then I'm going to blend it in so that it's not looking all sharp. Then come up here on this side seam, come up by 1.5 and then blend it into the center front so that it's not pointy by the time you're done with the skirt. Okay.